Ladies and gentlemen, we have 4 bills ahead of us this morning. The first bill is House File 4256, and as Chair Erdahl is making his way to the testifying table, I will move House File 4256 before the committee for consideration to be re-referred to the Committee on Legacy. Chair Erdahl, welcome, sir. Is there any opening comments that you'd like to make before you start with your bill? That's your intro.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good to be here today. When do you want the treats?
Now would be a good time for you to talk about those.
Due to a lot of fine work by my LA, Jennifer, we have some treats for you because, customary for, freshmen to give their treats out. So here I am.
Are you suggesting that that rule did not apply when you were a freshman, so you're just trying to catch up, Chair Erdahl?
I guess it must be. What we have here, first of all, I have a delete all.
Yeah, what I'd like to do is there's an incorporation, so if you would like to do the incorporation to the DE one, then we'll take the DE one and amend the bill to the, get it like.
Let's do that.
Why don't you explain your incorporation, and I will move that.
I got to get the right.
One's coming around there too.
Members, you should have the DE1 amendment to House File 4256 as well as an A1, although it's going to be an incorporation. It's on an A1. Oh, very good. Well, there's going to be an incorporation on page 6, line 2, after the word age. Representative Erdahl would like to insert the word disability. After the word age, page 6, line 2, would like to insert the word disability. And I will go ahead and make that incorporation into the DE1 amendment. And with that, Representative Erdahl, did you want me to move the DE and get it in the form you like before you make your presentation?
I think that would be a good.
All right, Representative Erdahl, I will move the DE1 amendment with the incorporation as we just talked about to House File 4256 to get it in the shape that the author wishes. Any discussion? Seeing none and hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the motion prevails. Representative Erdahl, to your bill as amended.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And years back, when we were trying to begin the restoration of the state capitol, we created a commission to oversee the restoration of the capitol. Essentially, that mission has been completed, and but we still have the commission, and it seemed wise that we continue the commission with a slightly different role, and that is to deal with the preservation and maintenance of the state capitol. And so the changes reflected in the DE amendment are regarding changes to the commission so that they can continue into the future dealing with preservation and maintenance. Purpose in doing this is if we don't, we are just in the same situation that we have been in for the last 100 and so years, where the needed repairs of the Capitol are often just kind of put off and no official decision is made. Under this, there will be a report made through the Department of Administration to the Commission at least once a year, more if needed, about the needs of the Capitol. The second part of the bill deals with the artwork in the Capitol. We have, as you've noticed, created a lot more public spaces in the Capitol, and those public spaces in the future can include new art. And so with the idea of having new art in the Capitol, it seemed wise to create a subcommittee of the commission to deal with artwork. And that's what the second part of the bill deals with. The new art in the Capitol and how it should be, how we should decide where it goes and what artists are involved. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you, sir. Any member questions at this time for Chair Erdahl? Representative Nelson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and Representative Erdahl. Nice freshman treats.
You're welcome.
Anyway, question I have had to do with the Art Advisory Board, or committee, I guess is what it's called. There's 2 pictures that were removed from the governor's office, and I understand they're supposed to be in permanent display. They're up in the 3rd floor now of the Capitol. Does this overrule that, or so they could be removed, or are they still going to be on permanent display? I know
Representative
there's
Erdahl.
controversy about those two pictures.
Well, they could make recommendations that it should be removed, but the recommendations then go to the full commission, who would have to ratify that. It's just like any other. We now have the Historical Society and the CAP Board, and they can move or remove paintings as well. And so I don't know exactly what the future of those two paintings is going to be. The plan right now is that they are staying on the third floor. But at some future date, as with what happened to them this time, another decision could be reached.
Representative Nelson, follow up.
No, that's just, want to know where we're sitting with it.
All right. Representative Freiberg.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm just, actually, I'll hold off a
Okay.
second. I'm looking at the wrong version.
Seeing no other member questions right now, is there anyone from the public who would like to testify on the matter before the committee, House File 4256, as amended? Anyone wishing to testify on House File 4256 as amended? Seeing none and hearing none, Representative Freiberg?
Just say
Actually, no, yeah, I was looking, I apologize. I was looking at the original bill, and I think my question's answered looking at the delete all amendment.
just say it's a fine piece of legislation, let it go at that.
That's usually the kiss of death around here, as we all know. So, seeing no other member questions, Representative Erdahl will give you the final comment, sir.
It's a fine piece of legislation.
And how would you suggest that the committee vote on that
I
fine
think
piece
they
of
should
legislation?
vote in the affirmative.
All right, I will renew my motion that House File 4256, as amended, be re-referred to the Committee on Legacy. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the motion prevails. Representative Erdahl, you are on your way, sir.